Friends, what do you think about this? Are there cars in heaven? Well, this pastor told his church members that he went to heaven for 1 hour 45 minutes. That sounds so good.
If you follow the instructions of the Spirit, some of you will have an encounter to go to heaven. You won't die, but you go to heaven and see heaven and come back. I went there for 1 hour 45 minutes.
And according to him, he saw a car in heaven. Wait a minute. A car in heaven?
And he was driving a beautiful, beautiful white car.
This is serious. Many Christians have rejected this claim, but his church members or his members continue to believe that there are cars in heaven. Without any delay, let's go ahead and listen to him.
The Spirit is about to take you into realms and dimensions you've never been before. Some of you, you've heard about heaven and you desire to go to heaven. But within these 30 days, if you follow the instructions of the Spirit, some of you will have an encounter to go to heaven. You won't die, but you go to heaven and see heaven and come back. I went there for 1 hour 45 minutes. I was taken out of my body to heaven, 1 hour 45 minutes, and I saw some very interesting things. And one of the things I saw, an angel took me to a high mountain. The grass was like diamonds, green grass, shine like diamonds. And once I was standing there, interesting scenario, and it's not everything I talk about. One of the fathers that brought me up in prayer at the Church of Pentecost, Elder Saki, the angel said to me, "Do you know anybody here?" And I said, "Yes, Elder Saki." And he drove on that beautiful grass and came to see me. And he mentioned my first name, and I said, "Papa." And he gave me a pass to go back to my body. And he was driving a beautiful, beautiful white car that shined like diamonds. And apparently that was his dream car when he was on earth. He didn't have it when he was on earth. He had it in heaven. And I said, "But how can Papa be driving a car in heaven?" Heaven? And the angel said, he read my thought. The angels knew my thought. And the angel said, "Have you not read? Have you not been told that the streets of heaven is made out of gold? What is street made for?" Then I got it. But then he showed me a beautiful city. And he said, "That is the city of T.L. Osborne." And I said, "T.L. Osborne? That is my grandfather in the faith." Then I came back to my body. I was staying in Maryland. I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma to visit my children at OIU. On my way back to Tulsa, I came through Houston. Then the Spirit said, "Change your ticket, go through Chicago." So I called my daughter. I said, "Elsie, reroute me through Chicago." And she said, "Papa, why Chicago?" I said, "I don't know. Just get me through Chicago." I got to Chicago. My flight was delayed for 2 hours. And I said, "Why? I missed it. Why is my flight delayed for 2 hours?" So I said, "Let me go have cappuccino." I was in lines at the Starbucks. And the Spirit said, "Lift up your eyes. Look to your right." And I looked. And that was T.L. Osborne sitting there having coffee. And the Spirit said, "Go to him." So I went to him. I said, "Grandpa." He said, "Nicholas." I said, "I saw your city in heaven." He said, "Sit down and let's talk."
So this pastor saw many things in heaven, but he decided to share a few of them. He claimed he saw an angel, which I think he saw many of them. And also he saw mountain, he saw grass that shines like diamond, he saw his friend in heaven. But the last thing he saw have been rejected by many Christians who heard him. A car in heaven. I was wondering which brand did he see? Tesla brand or Toyota brand or Mercedes-Benz brand? I don't know, but he said he saw a car in heaven, a car that shines like diamond in heaven. What? I don't think that message actually came from God. You know, friends, I have always said that not every single word that comes from the pulpit is coming from God. That is why it is very necessary to pray always at church. When somebody is about to preach to you, you should pray to God that God should let His word be in the mouth of the preacher. And Christians should begin to question some of these claims in the church. We should begin to question some of these prophecies and some of these miracles that are happening in our churches. Friends, do not be deceived. Just recently, there was the news in Kenya that a pastor told his members to fast and go to heaven. And some starved to death.
Several people have died of starvation and possibly many more from what police say was a radicalized Christian pastor in Kenya leading them in a fasting ritual. At least 4 were found in an emaciated state and died while being rushed to the hospital in a police rescue operation on a house in the county of Kilifi. They were among about 15 people found in the house fasting. Most are now in stable condition, but police are investigating reports that there may be as many as 30 more buried in a local forest. Charles Kamau is a criminal investigations officer in the town of Malindi.
We went there based on an information that there were some people who were cited by members of public having been starved somewhere. The information received is that the people there were being starved after being radicalized by a certain member of a church who told them that their work in this world is done and that they are waiting for, they should die and go and see their creator. So far, the information at hand is that there are more people who are believed to be in the bush.
All of the dead belong to the Good News International Church.
In the Western countries too, there are also false teachings of LGBT practices in some of the churches. They no longer believe that the practice of LGBT is a sin.
Right now, a pastor serving at Prince of Peace in Pickerington is making history. History he hopes to continue through his congregation and beyond. 10 TV's Ashley Barnanson has Pastor Douglas Grace's message.
Oh, I can barely stop crying.
Pastor Douglas Grace says it's hard to dry his eyes as he cries tears of joy. Originally from Coshocton, Grace has made his way back to his home state. He most recently served in Washington, D.C. After 33 years in ministry, he is now officially ordained and says he's the first openly gay pastor in the Presbyterian Church in Greater Columbus.
It's okay to be who you are, and it's to be inclusive, and it's to be loving, and it's to be missional.
Grace says it was encouragement from a spiritual mentor who helped him make peace and share his sexual identity with the faith community.
Bishop Kelly said, if you're going to be a peacemaker, you got to be at peace.
While some continue to ask,
can you be gay and a man of faith?
Yes. I don't even know how to respond to that. Faith is what brought me out of the closet.
Grace says he is building his congregation on love above all else.
It's not about this political and politics and things. It's like, have you actually read the Bible?
He says his 100-plus congregation is focused on nurturing the community from what he calls the COVID coma, fighting discrimination and serving those in poverty, together as one.
Jesus said, you got to be one. We have to be one.
Reverend Grace tells me with Intel making Central Ohio its new home base, he hopes to bring even more people into his inclusive congregation who are looking to grow in their faith.
Where do you think that the explosion of population and explosion of the need to be spiritually grounded is? Right here in Pickerington, Ohio.
He says he hopes this is a big step for the faith community, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
So they are going ahead and blessing gay marriages and lesbian marriages in some of the Christian churches out there. It is unfortunate that these are happening in Christian churches, but they also tell us that we are in the very end of the world's history and that people no longer want to hear the truth. Instead, they want to hear lies, as told in the book of Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 3 and 4 says, "For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but according to their own desires, because they have itching ears, they will heap up for themselves teachers, and they will turn their ears away from the truth and be turned aside to fables." So my final advice to you, my Christian brother or my Christian sister, is that please search the scriptures and always compare the things you hear from the pulpit with the scriptures to see whether they are compatible. Alright friends, this is all that I had to share with you today. For more Christian stories, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any video I publish. Thank you for watching. My name is Brother Lawrence and see you next time.